Well, hello guys and gals of the internet, I'm SOOO from YouTube and Twitch TV, and when I started videos back in 2012, I didn't think for 1 minute that I would say these words today. But welcome to the playthrough of Disney Pixar's Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, the video game adaptation of the movie Toy Story 2. And boy, I feel old right now. I feel so old because I do remember owning this game. In fact, I think I might have owned it on the Dreamcast way back when, and that's why I feel immensely old right now. So thank you, video game, for that. But this has come about for a couple of reasons and through an interesting method, because this isn't a mod or through an emulator. This is actually on the PlayStation 5, and I'll explain why in just a second. But one of the main reasons this has come about is because I recently completed Mass Effect 2, and as of today, which is 4th of January 2023, so a little belated, but Happy New Year to one and all. Obviously celebrating, we're in a brand new year, and with a brand new year starts a brand new playthrough, even though Mass Effect is still ongoing right now. But I beat Mass Effect 2, and the playthrough ended up being 66 videos, which is almost 20 more than my Mass Effect 1 playthrough was. I basically Mass Effect 2 took me in total 32 hours and 15 minutes to, maybe not 100%, but to complete all the majority of main tasks that you need to do in that game. And basically, at the end of that playthrough, parts 17 and 18 are going up as of today, and the playthrough is 66 parts in total. So it's going to take a while for that playthrough to complete. And at the end of the playthrough, I think myself and Tom Betty stated that I'm going to be going on a bit of a break now, because as I've just said, Mass Effect 2 was 32 hours and 15 minutes in total. And as much as I did get an itch to jump straight into Mass Effect 3, I didn't really want to do that because I'd already played this game so much anyway, and I didn't want to jump into Mass Effect 3 and start to feel a bit burnt out. So to kind of bridge the gap between the end of that playthrough and the beginning of Mass Effect 3, and that gives Time Lady a kind of some time to play it as well, because we're going to do what we did there. She's going to play it first, and then she's actually going to come watch me play it and see how our stories differ. So this is one of those playthroughs that's going to fill that time for a bit, and the way it's come about is very interesting, because last year PlayStation Plus changed its subscription system, and basically it's become a 3-tier system now. The essential tier is all the kind of basic benefits you get from PlayStation Plus, so online play, 2 free games every month, some other stuff that you can earn by being a member as well. The extra, I think, gives you the game catalog, and I believe what that is an expansion to when the PlayStation 5 came out, because the PlayStation 5 has backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 4 specifically. And what they did when the PlayStation 5 came out, if you were a PlayStation Plus member, you got a variety of games in your library to download at any point as long as you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. And it was games like The Last of Us Remastered, God of War reboot, Ratchet and Clank reboot for 2016, I think not Demon's Souls, a variety of PS4 classic games. I don't really remember them off the top of my head specifically. I don't know if they're here at all, because I think the game catalog basically is an expansion of that. So it kind of gives you some other games that will get added to the game catalog over time. It's very similar to Game Pass. Essentially, it's not the same, but it's very similar to Game Pass, I would say. Games get added and taken away every so often, very much like how Game Pass does it. I think the only things that stay in the game catalog definitely are PlayStation exclusives or PlayStation/PC exclusives, like The Last of Us Remastered, for example, even though they've remade that game for the PlayStation 5 and are charging you £70 for it, which I think is ridiculous. But anyway, before we get a bit off topic there, so that's and I think the extras also gives you some game trials, I think. I'm not sure if that's in the premium at all. I can't really put it up because I already own it. Here we go. So, here it is. So the extra gives you the game catalog. You also get Ubisoft Classics with it, The PlayStation Plus collection. That's what it is. So that would be like, yeah, it would pretty much be like, oh yeah, some essential PS4 games: Resident Evil 7, Last Guardian, Black Ops 3, Days Gone. Yeah, all those games. So the game catalog is basically an expansion of that, and that's in the extras tier, along with the subscription to Ubisoft Classics, which is very similar again to Game Pass, and their inclusion of the EA Play subscription. And also, and last but not least, the premium kind of tier, which gives you game trials. Some of them they're only 2 hours, unlike EA Play, which gives you 10 hours. These game trials are only 2, and I've used one already for WWE 2K23 or WWE 2K22. I can't remember which year it is. I think it's 22. So I've already used one for that. There's also like MotoGP and a couple others, I think. It gives you cloud streaming of the PlayStation 3 games, because basically, whereas the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible, it's only backwards compatible for PlayStation 4 games specifically. The PlayStation 3 games, unfortunately, you still have to stream, but because our internet is probably the best internet we can possibly get, and it is really good, by the way, for streaming, it works like a dream. So now that I've done a stream, and I've actually done some testing with God of War on Time Lady's account, and we've been playing that, that actually does work pretty well. So that opens up the avenues for some playthroughs I'll do in the future, but I'll have to use it that way. I don't think it should be too much of a problem, because I'll mostly be recording them, so all the internet power I have can go into streaming the game. But what it also has is this Classics catalog, and that's how we're going to be playing this game today. This is actually one of the games that actually released on day one of the tier's launching. Now, my gripe with the Classics catalog is that since that day, there has been no real new games added of my interest. The only one that interests me aside from this was Tekken 2 for some reason. I have got plans for that, by the way. I'll talk about that when we get there, but I do have some plans for that game, because Tekken 2 was my OG. But in fighting game terms. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be much more than that. So it's nice that they have these backwards compatibility games, but I still don't think it holds the candle to Xbox's system. It still doesn't to me. But the only other game I'd probably play that would grab my interest immediately is Resident Evil 2, the original, that they don't have. But guess what they do have? Resident Evil Director's Cut. So why do they have that and not Resident Evil 2? But anyway, to get back on topic, let's start this playthrough. Now, like I said, it's been a very long time since I played this game. Like I said, this is one of the Classics catalog that you can actually download to your PS5 and play, so we're actually playing it natively. Now, I believe this has some extra kind of add-ons, like a rewind feature, similar to the Nintendo Switch and their games. They're all the games that you can do that have a rewind feature, so we won't need to save. Well, we'll still save, because no doubt this will be very like PlayStation memory card and all that stuff. And already this is making me feel old. Look at that intro, dude. I've seen that intro quite a few times. That's the old Activision intro. Like, wow. I feel so old right now, dude. I'm feeling so old. This was the same. Excuse me. This was the same intro, I think, for Aladdin or Mickey Castle of Illusion. I feel fucking old, dude. I'm talking about Aladdin and Mickey Castle of Illusion. Oh my god, Traveler's Tales logo. Didn't they do Sonic R? I think they did. Oh my god, I feel so old, dude. Oh no. I feel really old. Yeah. I love the Toy Story franchise.
It is coming! It is coming!
I love the Toy Story franchise. I've seen all the movies, and you're lying if you say you haven't. You're lying. I played the Toy Story 1 game as well. And I played that on the Genesis or Mega Drive. True story. I think I beat it actually. So, oh, I need to remember that's not start. So that's actually the rewind feature. You can load and save as well. Actually, I have settings. What settings do we have? Visual preset, retro, classic, and modern. What does the modern do? Might explore this for a little bit. Oh god, look how pixely this looks. That's weird, man. I don't know whether I should just go for the default, actually, because I don't know what that actually means. So we can change the size of the screen. 4:3 by 1610. I don't think that's changed much. Can we widescreen it? Native resolution, which will probably be like the game's classic thing. Let's try widescreen stretched. Oh, there we go. So that works. So let's go into the main menu. I'm going to have to probably mute the music because I do think it plays the Toy Story, like, not the theme, but the main theme for the movies. So I might have to mute that. That's in a box. So I think widescreen stretch is the best way to get like full screen, like it is on my capture right now, like that. What's it loading? Oh, it's loading a demo. Oh, it's loading a demo. Yeah, okay. So let's take a look. Yeah, it looks good, and it looks good on my capture as well. It fills the screen, so that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to mute the music from here. This is the only time I'd have to mute it, I think. Remember the days when it was just 4 buttons to play a game? Do you remember that? Let's keep it as it is, because this is the only time I'd have to mute the music, was when this thing comes on. It's not everywhere, so it won't take long. Center screen, we'll leave it. Vibration we'll leave it. So yeah, look at this. A memory card, dude. Memory card. Oh, man, I'm old. Anyway, looks pretty good on my OBS, you know. It really does. It really looks good, actually. On my monitor, it looks pixely as heck, but you're gonna expect that, you know. It's funny because these are great, but like I said, I don't think it holds a candle to Xbox's system. I think Xbox, like I said, if you want backwards compatibility to the best of its abilities, definitely Xbox is the way to go. But at the same time, I guess it's nice to have games like this. I just wish there was more, you know. I don't think there's enough to really warrant it. What was funny about that, though, is that between the extra and premium tiers, there's not really much of a difference. That's what Time Lady thought, anyway. Oh yeah, it has movie cutscenes as well, so I'm going to have to skip those. But yeah, here we go. Oh my god. Dude. Look. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm playing this game right now. It looks so good on my character. I don't know how it's going to come out in video, but just be aware of that. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's nice that the option's there, but it's just, there's not really that many games that would interest me. I'm more interested in a lot more games in the streaming way, rather than any of the classic PlayStation titles. Like, I don't know where Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil 2 and those kind of games are. Metal Gear Solid I kind of understand, you know, with all that went down between Konami and Kojima, and what happened there. So I kind of understand that. But, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a tweet that I think it was Eurogamer tweeted, and they tweeted that the Synopsis logo has been, I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace. Has been what's the word? It's not a company that's coming back, but they still claim it as theirs. You know, they've renewed that somewhat. And I just looked at the logo and thought, oh my god, this takes me back. Because Synopsis did the Formula 1 games from like 97 or 95 to 99 or the year 2000, maybe even 2001, especially the PlayStation titles, essentially. And I was like, oh man, I wish those games had made this as well. So the object of the game is it follows the movie's premise. You know, Woody is taken, and Buzz and his friends are going after him to bring him back to Andy's house. So it pretty much follows that, but what it also does is that it kind of tells the story that weren't in the movie. So basically, if you were having a cutscene with Woody and his new friends at Al's place, this would tell the story of what Buzz and his friends went through during that time. So that's a pretty cool and neat idea. And the aim of this game is to pick up Pizza Planet tokens. And very much similar to, say, Sonic Unleashed, if you get 5 Pizza Planet tokens every level, and Rex here will tell you what those 5 objectives are, and they vary. I think there's a couple that stay like throughout the game. I think Ham's 50 coins is on every level because there's coins on every level. I think there's 100 coins on every level, at least. You can get coins by picking them up or destroying the enemies, as I was doing earlier. And basically, as you pick up Pizza Planet tokens, they'll unlock later levels. And I didn't know this when I first played it. I got to a certain point where the game locked me out because I didn't have enough Pizza Planet tokens. And you guys know I'm not really a fan of those games, but this game isn't really essentially that hard. It gets a little harder, but it's not like overly impossible. It probably won't take me too long to do this with my video format and my somewhat awesome memory. Like even right now, whoops. Should double jump there. You can double jump with 2 presses of the X button. Whoops. My timing is off. So yeah, it was a pretty cool and neat idea. I thought I was going to make that. I'm having to use the D-pad right here because I don't trust the left stick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played the Dreamcast version of this game. Well, there's a sheep there. Now, generally, the objectives are 50 coins for Ham, a boss fight, a 5 collective event or mission. You collect 5 of a certain object. In this case, it's Bo Peep's sheep. She's in the kitchen. A mini boss, which we're at right now, so we'll do that. And basically, 5 Pizza Planet tokens on every level. The objective can vary. We'll do this boss fight. Basically, you have to make sure you get all the Pizza Planet tokens you can to keep playing the game. Oops, I am sucked. How do you actually do the first-person view? Oh, it's L1. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes the collections, the objectives can like vary. I mean, in this level, there's a race with the RC car, and I think the next level there's a race with an RC car as well. But then sometimes Slinky can give you a timed challenge, for example. Boom! There we go. Pizza Planet, yeah. So I think that's everything in here. And there's no fall damage. Unbelievable. Take out that scrap. But yeah, I wouldn't say this game is like overly hard. I think it gets a little tricky like later on, but generally it's not that difficult. Like I said, the only thing that really caught me out was the Pizza Planet. Ow. Scrub. Was the Pizza Planet token thing. But like I said, it's not generally hard to get them. There is one level, I believe, where you have to leave and go back. I think it might be the alleyway. Ow, scrub. And what you can do with the RC races is just really cheese it and just step in front of him to block him. But this race is generally easy because he'll trip on the wire and spin, and he'll also trip in the sludge. So you don't really have to worry about this race so much. It's the next one where you have to be a bit finesse with it. Enemies respawn. Okay, I don't even know if I remember that, but yeah, this race is generally easy. You just run, really. But it'll either be a race or a time challenge, so they alternate. Oh, he didn't trip that time. But you can really just cheese him. You can just step in front of him and he'll stop for a couple of seconds, giving you a bit of a head start, and that's very helpful in the next level. Okay, so that's those two done already. I must remember to turn in the 5 collectathon, not collectathon, but the 5 collection objective, because that can be very easy to miss sometimes. I think I have done that in the past. I've like, oh, I've got everything, I've got all 5, and then, oh no, I actually forgot to turn that in. I think once I look at the levels, I think my memory will be pretty kind of serving me really well here. It's not like Final Fantasy VII where the game is completely different. Like if I was to jump into the early game of the original Final Fantasy VII, I'd probably remember a lot of it. To be fair, there's a laser here. I could probably get it done with that earlier. What can also be a part of the game is Mr. Potato Head. And if you find, there's some levels that he's in, and if you find a piece of his body that's missing, he'll actually give you a power-up. I think there's actually one in this game, or this level. So, whoops. Oh, I suck. Did I? Probably didn't need to do that, did I? Because you can go up here. Did I not? Yeah, I did. You can actually find, there's also, like, maybe a hidden Pizza Planet token or an objective you need to do for it. I remember in the construction site, for example, that there is, it's like, there's like a secret Pizza Planet token that's a bit like a puzzle token, where you have to do a certain thing to get it. In the construction site, there is there's this paint puzzle. Where if you get like the 3 paints on the wall, you actually get the token that way. Oh fudge! My jumping perception is like really off right now. Oop. Ah, missed it. You don't necessarily need it. I don't know if 100 coins gives you a life. I don't remember. Let's go this way first. Ooh. Jump circle is a stomp. Circle itself, if you hold it down, you can actually get the spin attack. Screw attack. Makes you dizzy after a while, you can't move, so I don't really use that. I don't think you really need to use it. I think there is like there's a Mr. Potato Head's ear. I think there is a mission or two where the spin is actually the only way you can attack a boss or a mini boss. There are like boss levels, but generally to get the Pizza Planet token, it's a mini boss. Ah, shoot. If we go into the kitchen, there should be some more coins. to get. You can get the one sheep that's in here while we're at it. So it's Bo Peep's sheep. She's on the table up there. Just be sure to turn that in before you go. There's the 50 coins for Ham. I think he's on every level. I think he's the only character that's on every level. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Oh my god. The graphics are so weird. Like, there's all sorts of popping and glitchiness with it. But it's to be expected. We are playing a very old game here after all. Generally though, I think generally, if there was a third-party title... Oh shit. There was always like these few games that didn't work really well on the PlayStation. They had like their own real problems. Like Sonic Heroes, for example, the PlayStation 2 version was considered the worst. The collision detection and the controls, it felt really bad, that version. And I kind of know from experience because I played the PlayStation version. That's the one I played. Because the PlayStation 2, like, having said that though, the PlayStation 2 is probably my favorite ever console, I would say. Just because of the options it had in terms of like backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 1 games. See, I kind of understand what, you know, there is a... I am disappointed with the Classics catalog in some regard, but I can also understand what Sony have always, or people around them have always said, that, you know, backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 3 on the PlayStation 4 would be and 5 would be difficult because of how different the architecture is. I understand that. I do understand that because, to me, PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 was a huge jump. It really was. When you factor in games like well, not The Last of Us specifically, but games like Uncharted 4, Thief's End, Detroit Become Human, you really start to understand why it was the jump it was. You know, it was such a huge jump. So here's Mr. Potato Head is here. Gives you a shield. Come on, jump over. There we go. So it kind of allows you to walk over this toxic sludge. I think though there's only like there's a power up on a level, but I don't think you can use the cosmic shield in a later level. It's only like level specific. There are some power-ups that in the next level, for example, there'll be a power-up that we can get, but we have to do that in a later level. And I think that's the same with the alleyways as well. And I think because of that, you can't really do all the Pizza Planet tokens in the alleyway level, so we'll have to do that later. So it kind of does auto aim. Okay, so that's the 5 sheep, but there's also... Ow. My bad. You can't really jump high in this with the shield on, so you have to kind of do this. But yeah, I kind of understand it. You know, games like Uncharted 4 and Detroit really do prove how much of a jump PS3 to PS4 was. I don't really know if PS4 to PS5 was such a big jump though. I think there's a jump, but I don't think it's as big. It seemed more of a jump PS2 to PS3. And even PlayStation to PlayStation 2 for that matter. shit.